Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Unknown Games Podcast. It is Friday, April 3rd here in Japan. Beautiful sunny day, great little wind outside, perfect to fly a kite if we could go outside and fly kites. We can't go outside and fly kites. Why am I suggesting something we can't? But what we can do is we can listen to podcasts and hang out with our friends online. Anyways, that's what me and Alex do. We just hang out online. We've got a good show this week. And the main thing, of course, is the Nintendo Direct. We're going to cover some of the news that came out of that little mini session. That's why the podcast is mini this week, everybody. Okay, I'm going to stop trying to make jokes now in my stand-up time. And don't worry, we're also going to talk about some of the Nier news that popped out because, yes, remakes are awesome. Who doesn't like remakes? Everyone loves remakes. And finally, we're going to talk about some of me and Alex's gaming sessions. I mean, we became champions in Apex Legends, not in real life, but in Apex Legends. That's like being a champion in real life, almost. Anyways, it's a good story. It's a great story. We hope you enjoy it, and it makes you smile. You can always find us on Twitter and Instagram at UGP_cast. And you can also look us up on YouTube, Unknown Games Podcast. You can find some of the things that we talk about, some of the gameplay footage of this Apex thing that we're going to talk about in the show. I'm going to have that up hopefully by the end of this week. And finally, remember, your boy Adrian streams on Twitch. You can look me up on Ninjatrix, Ninjatrix. I stream every Wednesday and Friday here in Japan, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. You can check out some of the games that I'm playing. Neo, it's good stuff. Get my butt kicked. Ori and the Blind Forest, it's so cute. And DJ Max, because I like to rock it. Anyways, we hope that you enjoy the show. Like I said, it's going to be a short one. So after this, you're going to hear the sponsorship. And after the sponsorship, you're going to hear the show. Thanks, as always, everyone, for staying with us. We love you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, and remember, just do the best you can in life.
Hey, Adrian, never thought about making a podcast?
All the time, except for we are already making a podcast.
No, but I mean like a different one. Maybe a better one.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was on the internet. I was trying to figure out like what's the best host for a podcast or, pretty much how can I make a podcast? And I think I settled on Anchor.
We're already using Anchor, buddy.
Wait, are you serious? Are we actually?
I'm actually serious because it's free. And of course, we're on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and like Google Podcasts and so many other places.
Wait, how do we do that though?
Anchor did that for us.
Oh, just like automatically, right? Anchor will just distribute your podcast for like free?
Exactly. Wait, I thought you did the research.
Yeah, well, I kind of did, but I do know that Anchor will help you make money from a podcast. Cash money.
Cash money grabs. Exactly. That's how we're making money right now, I think.
Absolutely. Like right at this very moment.
At this very moment with this sponsorship.
Well, also Anchor has some pretty cool creation tools that let you record and also edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Because I know you got one of those, probably.
I do have a computer, but I don't have a phone.
Well, whatever. You can still make a podcast because in 2020, there's no reason why anyone shouldn't have a podcast.
Everyone deserves a voice. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Anchor is just everything you need to make a podcast, but just all in one place. You can download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Enjoy the show, everyone. Thanks for listening. Everyone, and welcome to episode number 28 of the Unknown Games Podcast. I am your host, Adrian, and I'm joined as always with my favorite co-host, Alex.
Hey, what's up? I'm Alex.
And you know it, we always do it real big here on the show. We're talking about Japanese games in general, and of course, the occasional fast food review, and sometimes our life here in Japan, because that's sometimes interesting. Not so much right now. We're all on lockdown, so it's not as interesting. Yeah, But some things did happen, and we want to talk about them in terms of the world of video games. We got some news for you. It's going to be a shorter show this week, so not including what we've played, but just like I said, just the news. We're going to go over the Nintendo Direct and also the Nier event that happened a couple of days ago. So I don't know. You want to start us out on this, Alex? Alex has the lowdown on this. He's actually played most of the games that we're going to talk about. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. So there was like on Thursday night or something at like 11 p.m. or something in Japan, there was kind of a surprise Nintendo Direct Mini, they're calling it. It wasn't even live. It wasn't even like a live stream or anything.
Just like
they kind of just dumped it on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So it was like 23 minutes of just a bunch of stuff. I kind of skimmed through it, to be honest, just to get the gist of it, because it was like not a live stream, so I didn't have to like sit through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it was like, what, about 40 minutes or so? What was it, 50? It was,
no, it was only 30.
Decent. Yeah, I watched the recap on Maximilian's stream, but yeah.
Yeah, so I just like skimmed it. Well, I watched the Japanese version because actually got a different video a little bit depending on like what language you're watching it in.
Yeah.
So I know in Japan we got a bunch. Well, let's talk about the things that are the same across both of them. I think that was Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which is coming out on Switch May 29th, which is a bit of a surprise drop.
Yeah. It was like, and you can download it now kind of thing, which Nintendo's been really happy to, every direct.
Did they say that you could download it now? Was it like, I think they're doing a preload for it, but I don't know if
like
the preload is live.
Yeah. I think it should be like, it's already the 29th now, so.
It's not May.
Oh, wait, May 29th. Oh, gosh, no, I thought it was March. May and March, they're so close,
I mean, 2 months apart, but yeah, sure, that's 60 days.
So the definitive
that's
edition.
A crazy preload, yeah. Take up that space on your Switch right now.
You can get it. Well, I mean, you can preload it potentially soon.
I don't remember if it was a preload because I remember I was watching in Japanese and it says if the words for Japanese like in preload they say arakajime like download.
Yeah.
Which just means like like ahead of time download. I saw it on a couple of the titles that probably Xenoblade will have it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Xenoblade Definitive Edition is May 29th, and then they also revealed that the Panzer Dragoon remake will be coming out in April. They don't have a date for it; it just says like April.
Which is that's a good classic. It's is it coming out on anything else?
Yeah, PC. So it's actually there's a Steam page up for it right now. You can go on Steam and I guess add it to your wish list.
Interesting.
So I don't know, like if Panzer Dragoon. Well, what was Sega Saturn, I think?
Yeah, Sega Saturn.
Yeah. And then there was like another one in the series for Xbox, and that one.
I think that's Orta or something. I think.
Yeah, it didn't do too well.
It didn't do so well. But hey, so they're just going to remake this one. And I think Microsoft probably owns the license for the one that came out on Xbox, so that's the reason you get this timeless classic remade.
Yeah. So you can go and get Panzer Dragoon on the Switch in April. I'm looking at the Steam page right now. It says winter, so I don't know if it's a timed Switch exclusive or not, but in any case, that'll be coming out soon. And then they also showed off a trailer and a lot of information for Bravely Default 2, which is pretty exciting.
So did you play the first? No, well, wait, I think there's more than... Is this technically the second one, or is it like... The third
well, this is the third one, technically.
It's the third one, right? Okay.
It was Bravely Default in Japan, and then it got released in English as Bravely Default, and then that version was like reversed imported into Japan as like Bravely Default for the sequel.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
So I played for the sequel, which has a lot of quality of life changes, and it had the English voice acting from obviously the English version.
Right.
And then Bravely Second came out, and I actually didn't play Bravely Second.
I don't think a lot of people played Bravely Second as much as the first one. There's like a time gap between the releases of them. Not like a big time gap, but just I don't know. I think flew under the radar.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I mean it did come out, and I think a lot of the hardcore fans for Bravely Default played it. And then this Bravely Default 2, which is I guess interesting because they're calling it Bravely Default 2 and not like Bravely Third or something like that.
It's not even a weird title.
Yeah, it's just like Bravely Default 2. Well, Bravely Default is in itself a pretty weird title.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a really good game. I didn't finish it. I got pretty close to the end. I got to like the second last chapter, and then I kind of just slowed down. I don't think you played it, right?
No, I didn't play it.
It's a pretty solid JRPG. It has a really good job system class that I'm told is really similar to FF5. I just didn't play FF5, but
Okay.
so basically you have default jobs for your characters, and then you'll go out on an adventure, and then I think some jobs are story locked. You'll just automatically get them, and then other jobs you'll just find them through side quests, and then you can equip that job on any of your characters.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was it was kind of praised for just being a simple but deep, like a fun, good RPG. And I think after that, a lot of people can kind of the nearest, not comparison, but is Octopath Traveler simple or not simple, but similar in the sense of the battle system in a tad bit? I can't remember. There's like a kind of Bravely Default-ish.
Yeah,
thing
if
to
I
it,
can,
if
if
I
I'm
remember.
remembering Bravely Default properly, it's called Bravely Default, well, I mean, for various reasons, but one of them is that you can, in a battle, you can choose to brave or you can choose to default.
Yeah, it's like attack or defend.
Yeah, so you can choose, to attack or defend, and if you choose to defend, it'll increase like your, well, you'll take less damage obviously, and then if you choose to brave, you'll do more damage that way.
Mm-hmm.
With Octopath, oh god, with Octopath,
With the
Octopath. With Octopath, it uses a system called a boost, and the brake systems, the boost and the brake. So like,
oh snap!
Enemies will have, let's like a number assigned to them, like an armor rating, let's say, and then they have like usually like 3 or so weaknesses to different elements. So if you use a normal attack that the enemy is not weak to, it just does normal damage. But if you use an element that the enemy happens to be weak to, you'll shatter one of their armor shields. So if they have an armor rating of 3, and they have a weakness to, let's say, like daggers, if you attack them 3 times with daggers, you'll break them. And that basically stuns them, and then you can do an increased amount of damage to them.
Okay.
The boost system is very, very similar to, I want to say Xenosaga, kind of. It lets you attack like multiple times in a single turn.
Okay, so then that's like Xenosaga. I mean, same name as well. Not that it's the same company. It's just it works the same way. So you can kind of go consecutive times attacks in one turn.
But you can like stack your boost, so you can boost up to like, I can't remember the number right now, but maybe it's I want to say 5 or something. I'm not sure. But if you know that an enemy has an armor rating of, let's say, 4 and they're weak to daggers, we can just bide your time until you have enough boosts. Trigger all your boosts repeatedly, and then your character does this really, really cool power-up animation, and then you can just hit them, let's say, 5 times with a dagger. You'll shatter their shield, and then they'll stun them, and you'll get your extra hit in there. Yeah, it's really satisfying, like especially when the sound effects make it so good, and there's this awesome zoom in, slow down, slow motion effect when you break them. It's like really, really satisfying.
So the last one was on 3DS, if I remember, and then this one is going to be on Switch. So I know the trailer is out. I haven't taken a look at it, but obviously they've got some more graphical power to deal with.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Are they kind of changing the perspective of the battle system, or is it pretty much just like 3DS version up?
Yeah, I don't think they're changing too much. Art style looks the exact same. Like it's kind of that chibi kind of look. And I feel like the chibi look originally was done because of the 3DS's limited power.
I think that chibi look is like crap. What was that Final Fantasy title that they kind of first tried it? I think like the mobile OS Final Fantasy titles kind of use it as well.
They used it in the remakes of 3 and 4.
3 and 4, yeah. So if you're familiar with that on iOS, those Final Fantasy 3 and 4 remakes looks kind of like that. It's still good. Yeah. It's like good. It's simple, and it you can be expressive and emotive with it as well.
Sure, yeah. So that's Bravely Default 2. A lot of info. If you want to download a demo, that's available right now, like today.
Oh, sweet, nice.
You can go and turn your Switch on and grab a demo for Bravely Default 2. Check it out. And then I guess you can let us know what you think of it.
I would like to. One of these days. Yeah. When I get a Switch, there's going to be just one episode where I actually finally get a Switch. That's going to be the title of the episode.
I bought a Switch.
Yeah.
You should get a Switch and you should just like stream it for like 10 hours. So you like wake up, you start your stream. It's like, hey, I'm going to open my Switch. This is me turning my Switch on.
And then you start and connect
and then
it up
like
and
2 hours of it's like, this is me installing updates, and then you can play it and stuff.
Everyone's like, oh, he's finally up to date with modern technology. Everyone's like, do you have Animal Crossing?
Just
What's your
in
Animal
time,
Crossing?
yeah, just in time for the Switch to finish out its life cycle. When did the Switch come out, anyways?
Dude, I don't know. Like, Switch has been out for at least 3...
Well, at least 3 years, yeah.
At least 3 years. Okay, I'm going to do some typing. Here,
when did Switch come out?
Nintendo Switch. I'm going to leave this typing in. I'm going to leave it in there, kids. What is the Nintendo Switch? That's not what I want.
What is a Nintendo Switch?
There is like a page on, Nintendo's site that's just like, what is the Switch? Okay.
Fastest way is probably just to go to Wikipedia.
You know what's weird is I actually typed in I just typed it in and like it did not come up with the wiki, which is interesting. Usually anything will come up with the wiki first. 2016.
Okay, so like 4 years then.
Yep.
No, I see 2017. So 3 years.
What the heck is 2016? Oh, the official naming. Okay.
Yeah. So 17 when it came out. So yeah, only 3 years.
Wait, so I was really right.
Short.
Holy crap! I was right for once.
Yeah.
I'm very happy. And
yeah. So that's Bravely Default, and then we got DLC announcement for Smash Bros. We're on season 2.
Season 2
of the Fighter Pass.
Yep.
And the first fighter is like someone from ARMS, which I'm not sure anyone actually cares about.
Or cares. I heard it. Look, I heard ARMS was actually a good game. It's just no one,
No one played it.
No one played it, and I kind of actually want to try it. It looks decent. I mean, it looks fun. It looks fun and decent.
Sure. I mean, once you get your Switch, you can check it out.
Exactly. That'll be one of the games, and then people will be like, "Oh my goodness, what's your friend codes for Smash?" It won't be like.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a quick question. Like, is your friend code, say like I trade my friend code for like Animal Crossing, that's a separate ID from your normal whatever your friend ID identification is, right? Or is it like all one code?
Well, now you can use either a friend code or you can use your Nintendo online ID
account?
You can just use that one now.
Okay. I do have a Nintendo online ID. I think I signed up for Fire Emblem Heroes. And that's
on the phone.
On the phone, yeah. And I think I made it or recovered it because I had one before. But yeah, and then so we were talking about the not Xenosaga, not Xenoblade. Wait, Blade, yeah. Gosh, I get those names confused.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles remake, remaster, and that's I think we were talking before the show, like maybe the second time, third time? No, second time. This is the second remaster because the first remaster was
right. So
3DS.
the original one was on Wii, and then there was a 3DS version, and then this is this one.
And then wait, was there a Wii U version?
No, you're thinking of Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is a different game, and that was on Wii U.
Yeah. So this new version,
it doesn't help that I think Xenoblade in Japan is called Xenoblade, but in North America or other parts of the world, it's called Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah,
which is real. That's why it's confusing. So when I talk about Xenoblade 2 in Japan, it's just called Xenoblade 2. But other people are like calling it Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I'm like, why the Chronicles? Like, why are you saying that? But then I realize it has a different name.
I still need to finish that game, honestly. I mean, I still have it with me, like my Wii. I should just hook it back up and start
You're talking about the first one, right?
About the first one, yeah. About the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
The remaster.
Gosh, you can get a Switch.
Yeah, you're right. You have to get a Switch.
I should get a Switch. I can
play get a used one, man. Get a used like Switch Lite or something. But if you want to stream, then you have to get the full size one.
You know what's crazy? I still want a Vita. It's I just don't have it, and I know there's stuff on. Actually, I just want to play Muramasa.
I thought you had a Vita.
No. I when I moved to Japan was when the Vita came out, and I didn't have any money.
So you never owned a Vita.
I've never owned a Vita.
Oh, they're great consoles. Actually, I really like the Vita. Yeah, no, they're really good. Especially if you get the thin one, like the second gen.
I want the first one because of the screen, but the second one, it feels okay. Like I just don't like anything with a flat back. And I know Sony loves to do the flat backs for their second systems, and I hate flat backs.
So I own both like versions. I have a Vita Fat and a Vita Slim. And to be honest, like I know what you mean about the screen because you're like, oh, it's not OLED or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that was like my initial thought as well when I picked up a Vita Slim. I was like, oh, the screen is washed out. It's gross. But you honestly you get used to it really
You
quickly.
get used to it.
And I actually really prefer the Slim now just because it's way lighter and it charges over USB, micro USB. It doesn't have a proprietary
Oh, so you
friggin'
can just
plug.
charge it. So it's like I can just put it on my PC and just have it charged
Have
and
it
whenever I
charged,
want.
yeah. The
Okay.
fact that it charges over USB is like honestly way more convenient than you would
Or
think it
heck,
would be.
even my monitor, I can use it to charge. Like that's okay. That's actually pretty cool. Like I gotta say, like I the one game I want to play on there is Muramasa.
Right, right, right.
That's about the only one I can think of because I can't find it anywhere else unless I go find a PS2
Or a
think,
Wii.
or Wii. Yeah, or Wii. Oh
But
gosh. Wait, I have a Wii. Oh snap! I just gotta find the game now. It's
you have a
probably
Wii
cheap.
here in Japan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess you can try to find it.
Oh my
But
goodness, it's time.
no, the Vita's an awesome console and it lived out a lot longer than
Should have.
no.
Was
What?
thought to. I don't know.
It,
Continue.
it lived out a lot longer in Japan than it did in North America. I think
Hmm.
it only died like in 2019 or something. Really recently, actually.
Yeah, it's really recent. It hasn't been dead, like officially dead. Like we're not making more units dead for. I mean, maybe 2018, 2019, like you said. So
Yeah, they were still
it's a good
making games
console.
for it in Japan, so you can still pick up. Not anymore. I mean, Sony kind of killed it. I think they killed it prematurely. Sony
they.
like
Mm,
had the ability to keep it going, and then they just didn't. They decided to just end production for it.
and just pretty much focus PS4 exclusively. I mean, and I think around that time they were also trying to push PSVR as well, which we don't really know what's going to happen with PSVR in terms of PS5. Like they're still quiet
It'll
on.
work for it. I think they said it'll work for it.
It'll definitely work, but like it's time for a new headset. So
Oh,
people
okay.
are probably going to be more interested in like, okay, what's the new headsets? Well, I still need to use these like Move controllers, or can we be done with Move controllers? Like, you know, that's more information that they're going to have to unveil eventually. But
I think yeah. Well, they said the current gen will still work on PS5. It will be backwards compatible, but yeah, they could do another headset. There's nothing stopping them from doing it.
I want my upgrades. And
It
speaking
would
of
be like
upgrades,
how the Vive. There's multiple Vives and they all work technically still.
right, right. And what else is still working? Nier. That
Sure.
I was gonna go with my previous one, like in speaking of upgrades, but then it's just like nah. So we had the anniversary event. Did you watch all of it? It was on
No,
Nico
I did
Nico,
not.
I think
I think
Sunday. It's like
it was on like a Saturday or something, right? Or it was yesterday actually. No, I didn't
yeah,
watch it.
yeah. It was like 10 hours long if I remember from the last podcast.
I don't know how long it was. I just know that it was happening, and I was just on the blogs of the internet waiting for news to come out.
And what did you find? What did you find, Alex?
There's only like two things really that like I think are very important. One is they announced a new game called Nier Reincarnation. It's a brand new game.
Okay.
But before you get excited, it's a mobile game, so I don't really know
Oh,
what that is. Really, I don't know what it will look
we
like.
yeah,
There's a trailer on the internet. It's like a minute and a half trailer of just nothing. Essentially,
which
it's
is
like a
similar to the other trailer, which we'll get into kind of ish. That's
yeah. So
there's teasers.
It's called Reincarnation, and I don't know like when that'll be out, but
Yeah.
it'll be out. And then the other big news is they announced here's the thing. I don't know if it's a remake or I don't know if it's a remaster, but they announced and you have to bear with me, and I'm not kidding when I say this. They announced
Go ahead.
Nier Replicant version 1.224744874139 ... That is the actual official
That's
title of
the
this
actual
game.
title. Just when you think Square Enix couldn't make another messed up long title, like 258 over 248 over 2, whatever that Kingdom Hearts was, that was enough for me.
Yeah.
How on earth, like what? Is there a reason for this long title? Like this is like data version. I get it, but oh man,
I
they
don't
went for it.
so that's
They
the
went for it.
actual official title of this game. I
There,
mean like
there better
I
be a
was
string of code
when
with that in
I
there.
saw that, I was like I'm so glad that I'm not like a retailer that sells games, because I'd be so pissed.
How do you
Like
print that out on like the barcode? It just
exactly,
make it
yeah.
smaller.
That's like that's your SKU code or something. Like you have to be like, okay,
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna put in an order for Nier Replicant version 1.224 something. And you're like, oh my god, it's so dumb. And
I'm
then
gonna
like you
copy and
gotta
paste that. Oh gosh,
that shows up on your invoice. That shows up in your product database as the SKU name, and then you gotta yeah. I'm like, what's it gonna look like on the spine of the game? Like, are they gonna fit the whole thing?
they really should just make it the entire spine. So this is a remake or remaster. There's not that many details out on it. I don't even know if we have a release date area.
No, not at all. Yeah, and there's a trailer, but again, it doesn't like tell you anything new. If you know the story, it's just the same story.
Right, which this is a prequel to Nier Automata.
Yeah, by a couple thousand years or something, 10,000 years or something.
And I love it's like in about 10,000 10,000 years before. And we also know like the staff working on it. If I remember, I should probably pull up the details. Man, I really should. But it's all the staff from, of course, like previous Nier games and also the Drakengard series. So it's pretty much like the core base of that team, because it's the original studio that made Nier actually got like they're no longer around apparently.
I don't know who the studio was, but the studio that's announced that's working on this game is Toy Logic. And I have never heard of Toy Logic until now, but Toy Logic looks like they do a lot of like being development for a ton of games. I'm on their website right now.
Right.
And so they have a bunch of original games. So there's only like 5 games that they've made themselves. But if you like tab over to games that they've assisted development with, it's a pretty impressive list. And just to like give you a super quick rundown of the really big ones, obviously Nier Replicant, which they just announced. Dragon Quest 11 appears like they've put in some work into the 3DS version.
Okay.
They did some work on Psycho Break, which is called Evil Within in North America.
Okay.
Dragon Quest 10, which is the MMO. Kid Icarus on the 3DS, Smash Bros. For the Wii, Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost for the arcade.
Okay.
And they have a bunch of other games, but that no one else would have heard of. So they've had their hand in some pretty big games. So I don't know to what extent they're involved in Nier. I assume it's, I don't know, I want to say mostly porting, maybe. I don't know. It just says developed by. It doesn't, like, that's a pretty big credit. You know what I mean? Like, just straight up developed by.
It's like straight up, could be their, the debut game of theirs that, has their name on it, essentially.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could find the names of the people working on it. Essentially, it's like, the directors of some of these games, these Nier games.
Yeah, so I think a lot of
in good hands.
Yeah, I think the directors is still Square. Like, Square is really kind of directing the game. And then Toy Logic will just be doing the actual, like, making of this program, right? That runs on a console or a computer.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they announced it for the PS4, the Xbox, and the PC, actually. So you can choose whatever platform works the best for you.
Yeah, and I actually just saw that. I'm reading, this is from Kotaku. I don't know, this is from Kotaku. But we all know that this marks the 10th year anniversary of Nier. So this is why all this stuff was happening. But it was actually saying that Toy Logic is going to bring the system, like it's coming to PC, of course, and also other modern systems. Okay, and that Platinum Games will not directly be involved. That is a very strange wording.
But Platinum didn't even touch the first Nier, right?
That's why it's really strange. Like,
so
why?
Like,
this is just Kotaku. That's why I don't want to, like, and I do trust Kotaku for sources and things, but it's a little weird when it's like Platinum Games will not be directly involved, making it seem like they're involved in some other capacity potentially, or the game could actually end up having some Automata-like systems. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I mean, like, I would understand if it was like Automata 2 and they're like, hey, there's no Platinum this time. But this is like a remake or a remaster of the first Nier, which didn't have any involvement from Platinum to begin with.
Right.
So why bring them into this discussion?
Was it even an action RPG like the first
It
Nier?
kind of was, yeah. It kind of was. I mean, it wasn't
Okay.
a really good one, but yeah.
Yeah, they could maybe be consulting with their new studio. Was it Platinum 4 or whatever? That could be a thing. They could just be consulting on like maybe some touch ups to the battle system. So
Yeah, they threw the line in there because a lot of people was like, oh, Automata has really good combat, and I think maybe people had assumed that Platinum would from now on be involved with the Nier series for combat, but that's not the case here, I guess.
So well, I mean, it's something to look forward to. I think it's going to be finally a lot of people can kind of play the original one. And this is the PS3 version that's being remade or upgraded.
Oh,
There we go.
right. Yeah, because there was 2 versions, huh?
Right. There were 2 versions in the, yeah. So they had 2 different titles. Same story. If I remember, you told me it's the same story and plot and everything, but it's just seen through 2 different characters' eyes.
So North America, if I'm not mistaken, North America only got the Xbox version, right?
I feel like we got the PS3 version too.
And Japan only got the other version. I'm gonna look it up. So the 2 games are called Nier Replicant and Nier Gestalt.
Right.
And they basically split like the game into 2 different versions. I believe at the time, they were like trying to appeal to different markets, maybe.
Yeah, and definitely with Xbox at that time, it was very much a pressure to appeal to the Japanese market. So,
okay. So in North America, the game was only called Nier. It was just called Nier North America. Okay. And Japan got 2 versions. Japan got Nier Gestalt for the 360 and Nier Replicant for the PS3.
Okay.
But it seems like North America only got 1 version, which was the... I want to say the 360 version. Hold on.
It might have been. I remember the reviews that I saw at the time where I was watching X-Play. Oh my goodness, that's... Rip that show.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Not the people who were in it at all. But yeah. So maybe we did just get that one. I mean, it was, even at that time, it was very much a niched game that had a core following. I think everyone could attest to the story and the music. And, it had its weird glitches like every game back then for sure. But yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, I still need to play Automata and test to see if I can hold up to my platinum love of platinum games. Yeah. So
in terms of like just platinum games, Nier Automata is way, like, I would say easier for sure.
I'm just like having flashbacks to the end of Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, well the Senator fight is legendary on the internet for being pretty hard. So
yeah, I guess that's pretty much all we kind of had this week to kind of talk about. I know that some other things may have happened. I know me and Alex, we played a crazy, insane game of Apex last night.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
We had the oh man, we should just post a clip of that. That was funny as heck.
Are you talking about the shield one or
the shield phalanx? And then and even the freaking Wraith that just
walk out. It was like a Wraith or a Bengal or something. Anyways, do you want to end up on? We'll finish on that story. Tell them about the shield.
The shield. Okay. So it was me, Alex, and one of Alex's friends, and we're playing on Apex. We're on Mirage. God, I can't say it. Mirage Voyage. We're on that little part, and the ring is closing right there, and then like kind of like below there's that little there's some what do you call those little houses, I guess, down
right
there below the cliff.
Right below Mirage Voyage, right?
Yeah, right below the cliff. So we spend a lot of our time there sniping about 2 or 3 teams and finishing off a couple teams, like 1 or 2 teams in that little area that had come to fight above the cliff. And then when the ring started closing, we were still in the ring on top of this place, right? I had a gold shield, which means I could self-revive. Alex's friend had a gold shield, so he could self-revive. And then Alex had a purple shield. And what happened was we went to the edge of the cliff where they were fighting. They were below the cliff, of course. We were on the edge. And we had kind of injured that team. So we're like, okay, we can try to finish them off. So Alex's friend tries to look down and, down below the cliff and aim straight down, and ends up falling down instead of, trying to snipe them or shoot them from there. So he's down there trying to fend himself, trying to kill them. He does some pretty good damage to them. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to hop down too. So I hop down there. I'm caustic. I throw some gas. It misses them. I do some damage, and then I'm down too. So we're both down, and we both have the revive shields. At this point, Alex comes in like a Superman and just starts shooting. I think you downed some people, right? You downed.
I downed like one guy, who was running through the gas, but yeah. So and I ended up fighting a Wraith, but the Wraith got the better of me with the Peacekeeper.
Yeah, and that was the only person. I think there's the Wraith and the Pathfinder.
There's a Pathfinder as well, yeah.
in a Pathfinder, and I don't know if those were two teams or the same team.
It was the same team, I
The
think.
same team? Okay, so they're down there.
Oh, no,
And
sorry. It was a different team.
it's a different team, yeah. So it was like,
So
at that
three
point,
teams,
it's like
yeah.
1-1, and then we're
three.
all down. And then 3. We're 3 people, but we're all down. And Alex is in front of us. All of our character models are like literally 1 at
They're
this
like
point.
clipping into each other.
So I'm Caustic. Alex is Octane, and then his friend is Lifeline. So everyone is essentially inside of my body except for Alex, who has got a shield up in front, and they don't know where the Lifeline or whoever the third member of our party is because they're literally inside my body.
Yeah, they're like clipping inside. So you guys are both self-reviving, and I have the shield out, like just protecting you as you self-revive.
Exactly. And then, so they're like, where are they at? So he's shooting a little bit, doesn't know. The Wraith gets finished, and then lo and behold, I get up and I plant some traps around, so gas starts going out everywhere. I do a little bit of damage, go back down, and then Lifeline pops up out the grave like, hey, here I am.
Yeah. I was watching from his point of view because he shared the clip to us afterwards. It was like a hemlock on burst, and it was like 2 bursts or 3, like 1 burst didn't finish off, and then did a second burst, and then like the stray bullet got him.
And it was so crazy because so we ended up winning this game, but for like most of this time when Alex's friend fell off, I literally, like, I'm on the clip just saying like, don't tell him we're gonna mess this up. We pretty much had this match, and then like we all go down. I'm like, I can't believe this is like we had this match. I can't believe this. And then like press self revive, and that poor Pathfinder just was like, I had this match.
Yeah, it was so funny. I can't believe
one
that
after the
actually
other.
worked. Yeah.
It was like it was staggered too. That's what was so good about it.
Yeah, like what helped was like the fact that we were all clipping into each other, and like we were in a corner.
Yeah.
So like the shield was like perfectly shielding everyone, because you're all self-reviving inside the same model. And then it's so funny.
It's a good clip. It's a good clip.
I wonder if the other teams were like salty.
They had to be salty. I would be salty. I was
funny. Like that team, yeah, basically killed the team, but then they came back from the brink.
Like it was like we were freaking zombies. We just kept coming back, and then just like, excuse me, like I'm pretty sure I won, but I didn't. And that's how you play Apex. Everybody, get yourself a gold shield. Get yourself 2 or 3 of them.
They need to like speed it up a tiny bit, though.
They really do. It takes a long time. I mean, I wasn't even sure we were going to get it off, and I've forgotten. He had the gold shield, so I was just like, I hope I can get up, and then I hope something happens.
Yeah,
but we joked about that earlier.
I was talking to my friend though, but like, yeah, we were joking about that. But if we all had gold shields, like if I had one as well, and I like popped my shield, they probably would have like grenaded all of us or something like that. But because I had a purple, I think they
didn't really thirst that. They didn't really try to kill us because you said, like I didn't flash my gold shield and your friend didn't flash it either. So they didn't even know we had gold shields. All they did was they saw you with a purple shield.
Yeah, it was like maybe they thought like one of our teammates was above still, like one of our teammates was still on Mirage Voyage or something, instead of all of us being there. But
we surprised them. We got the better. We got the better. Just like you're gonna get the better this week, everybody. I fall so flat when I make these things, but
I don't know what that means.
I'm just saying, everybody, while you're potentially inside, or you might feel like you're just stuck and you wish you could do something, but you want to try to help other people, or just get outside the house, whatever. You're gonna get the better this week. You're gonna get the better, and you're gonna be the better person who stayed inside and made it through with a smile. That sounds really painful, actually. Thanks for listening to us, though, this week. This is episode number 28. And as always, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter at UGP_cast. Also, check out the YouTube channel at Unknown Games Podcast. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we can actually just have it like a little like custom URL, make it all special for you, easy to find. I don't have to keep saying find us at Unknown Games Podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
So make sure to tell your friends, your family, your dogs, your cats, oh man, you got to help me out on this. You got to just name some random things.
I don't know. I guess your your body pillow.
Tell your body pillow. Tell them about the Unknown Games podcast. And we always thank you guys for listening. Guys and girls, you're all awesome. And I guess that'll do it for us this week. We made it a little bit short, 35 minutes. And yeah, keeping it clean, keeping it cool. We'll catch you on the other side next week for episode number 29, which we'll be doing a little bit of a longer episode. But we hope you have a great week. Remember, you set the tone. Go play some games. Enjoy your life as best as you can. Put a smile on your face. And we'll catch you again next week. Peace.
All right, peace.
Make your dreams come true!